so I can do games with it. It's not encrypted. And I'm going to show you the real channel. The real channel is something like that. It's the megahertz worldview. And we take it from Virginia. They collect TV broadcasts from around the world, and they condense it for us and broadcast. If you want to see TV, news in France or Portugal or all places around the world, that's the channel for you. We get it from Virginia, and we drop it in like 20, 30 places, TV stations around the US, and DirecTV. So if you're a DirecTV, that's how you see it. And I requested, so my friend John here, see there is a demo thing. So that's the first demo thing I'm showing. So we take it also for a demo and drop it on another overlay. So we call it reflected. So we take it's like live, right? So we reflect it on some other overlay so we can play games. And that overlay basically is like that. We take the demo channel, ingest it, take it all the way to LA. There, we take it back, make it to a new channel, and bring it back, and then I get it here, and Danny gets it in Israel. Okay? So that's the previous one with the CNN was 15 hours time zone, and this one, if you take that into account, I don't know, 6 plus 7 is 12 hours. Kind of 13 hours time zones to do something like that. So now what I give you, we put two screens, and we play both of them. And the difference between them will be
the overall rate of 3.5%.
The Korean government has unveiled a plan to increase production at overseas fields to 35% of the country's total oil and gas demand by year 2020.
So we see twice.
13% of its total energy and resources demand. During an emergency economic policy meeting presided by President Lee, the Minister of
And it's going to be very hard to see which one is which. Or that there is a difference between them. You can see it when the picture switches. So the way I can give you a notion of how one bit is behind the other to show you the speed of the network is I'll put the audio up and try to see if you can hear an echo. That echo is the difference.
Tragedy in Honduras where more than 300 people were killed in a fire that swept through an aging prison. I guess Hopkins has a report with a fair warning.
You hear the echo? That echo is twice the difference from here to LA. So the delay on the network is really half that to get all the way to LA. Okay? Which is really about 90 milliseconds what we see here, back and forth. Which means every node like that.
Many of the inmates locked in their cells were suffocated by gases created by the fire or burned beyond recognition as the fire ripped through the complex.
It's dramatic. We start completely charred.
Okay. So that means that every node, the reason for not getting funding, the high overhead, cost me 1 millisecond. That's all. It's below 1 millisecond. So that's the big overhead that is out there after the fact. The protocol is better than what we had in the audio. I'm not going to go to the details of it. It pays 3 times the overhead, and it's about 50 to 100 times better. You remember we talked about the 200 per million? When we started, I put television on large screen, and I started to instigate problems, and I counted where I cannot see the problems anymore. And I got 100 per million. 1 per million couldn't see the problem. So I said, okay, we will shoot for 50 per million. And we went with that. And then after a while, people started measuring us, and they came up with about 1 per million. So I said, okay, in that case, I'm okay to claim that we're doing 10 per million. I always like to have a lot of fun because then you can never make a mistake. So this is what this protocol is doing. It's basically giving you about, we claim 10 per million, other people claim 1 per million, as opposed to the audio protocol that can give you like about 200. Beyond that, we have responsive routing. You remember each ovulate is sitting on multiple backbones. Level 3, Comcast, Verizon, you name it, Telia, okay? So how does it work? Because they can communicate, there are not too many of them, they know what happens in every place, very short period of time. So you have all those links, and the black links are what is selected right now. Let's say that you work, and some link starts to deteriorate, okay? No problem. The offline switches. Switch like that, you will not know. We will not know. Okay, you need to look at the log to really know that it happened. You will not see any problem. If there is a disaster, a full site, Dallas, is not in the internet anymore, on everybody, something like that will happen. That will cause that disaster, this really a big disaster, and it happens, something like that does happen when they cut fibers in the desert in the past, in Phoenix, and it was like the whole internet goes bazooka on this for like maybe 8 hours, and for us it cost sub-seconds, something like that. It's a sub-second issue, okay? Because within 100 milliseconds, 200 milliseconds, you already know about it. And then within 500 milliseconds, you give up on the other guy, and within 700 milliseconds, things are restored. So this is where we are today. I want to give a few words about where we're going, and end with that. So that's the last slide. So what are the challenges? Where do I see the challenges? I basically went on sabbatical and then leave. I think I'm really, really good as professor on sabbatical. Then I discovered there's something even better than that, professor on leave. Okay, I really love teaching, so I was still teaching my courses. It's just like, I don't need to account for my time. And all my students graduated during that time. They went away on the new things in life. And then came back, said, what's next? Do you want to be in academia or no? It really depends on the students, right? So 2 guys here, my fourth convinced me really to stay, and took a year to decide what's the next thing. And in my opinion, the next thing is all about resiliency. It's all about, the ultimate of it is intrusion tolerance. There's going to be one network for everything, for managing our power grids, for managing our clouds. Clouds are becoming critical infrastructure. Everything migrates to it. So instead of having thousands of systems that are at the enterprise level, you will have much lower number of systems that few big guys will run, okay? Or you will have some large-scale systems that small guys will run. In LifeNet, you'll be amazed how big the company is that threatened. You need just few people, but the right ones, to do it. And then if those critical systems are not there, one of them goes down, or one of them is attacked, compromised, we have a big problem, because it can be our power grid tomorrow. And as an exercise in my advanced course, I instantiate a cloud like that, and like a small one, and I let the students break it once they get control to part of it, and they need to break all of it. How much time do you think it takes? Guess. The students don't know anything about it to begin with the hours, but they can ask questions, and by the end of the hour and a half, it's obliterated. That happens several times. This is where we are. If some part, we don't know how to build systems that can work well on large scale if part of them is compromised. That's where I'm going. And the second part of where I'm going, and so DARPA, by the way, agreed with me. They're back in research. So now they have funding for us for the next 4 years. The other thing is the same question. How far can you take the timeliness and quality? Where's the limit? Remote manipulation, remote surgery, can you do it? Probably you can. See, it's not the same problem as the TV problem, but on the other hand, you're willing to pay more. I mean, this guy would never allow you to put 10,000 channels twice, just for fun, so it's more reliable. But if you have a light on the surgery, you can pay twice, just for that. Can you do even remote music training? This is a teacher of my son. They really want that. Now, I don't think you can do it. But I always say I don't think it can be done. And then other people show me that my staff can do it. So I wonder how far we can push it, or how far they can be. Maybe they can be in the Eastern Seaboard and do things like that, but maybe not in Israel. And I'll end with that.
Well, thank you, Yair and Greg and Danny for the introductions also. And Yair, please allow me to extend my own congratulations. We have a small, oops, sorry about that. We have a small memento here that hopefully you will hang with pride on a wall somewhere. So congratulations.